What's good, y'all? It's Joel, and I come back at y'all with another video. So, with this video, this comes from an experiment that was conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto. So, that name, if you've watched other videos on my channel, that name might be familiar to you guys. Essentially, I did a YouTube video, I want to say a couple weeks ago, titled Water, where the same scientists conducted an experiment with water showcasing the power of your thoughts and your words, how that can affect physical matter. And in that case, it affected the the structure of water because he took water and showcased what like control water looked like, where the water was just like left alone versus when we thanked the water and gave it love, like words of affirmation and gratitude, compared to when we sent words of and thoughts of hate to water. And it was like it made a big difference as far as like how the water reacted to it, right? So in this experiment, Dr. Masaru Emoto essentially conducted an experiment with rice. And so the motivation for this experiment is essentially he wanted to see how the impact, working with kids, how you approach children, and essentially the words that you say, the level of attention that you give them, like how it impacts children. So what he did, he essentially tested this with rice. So in short, the scientist took 3 jars, right, and he filled each jar with rice and also some water. And the first jar, he left it as the control jar, right, where essentially he just ignored the jar. The second jar, um, he said words of gratitude and love, like he thanked it, showed the rice love. And then the third jar was essentially the jar where he would send negative energy towards the jar, like he would call the jar an idiot and things like that. And so every day for a full month, that was his morning routine, where he would ignore one jar, show love to the second jar, as far as like thanking and expressing gratitude, and the third jar, he would insult the jar. After a full month, the jar in which he showed gratitude, he thanked the jar, he was grateful for the jar of rice. That jar essentially began fermenting. So it had a pleasant aroma, and you can tell that that rice, like energetically, was in a great place, right? And then the jar in which he insulted, where he showed hate, the rice, all the rice in the jar was completely black. And then as for the third jar, around half of the rice was starting to rot, right? So you started to see like mold and all these things like growing in the jar, right? And an experiment like that just proved how powerful your words and your thoughts are, that it can literally affect physical matter. So like for me, I already had an understanding of that because of the material that I've read and the audio that I've listened to and things like that. For me, I just had like an interest in just wanting to better myself. And for me, I felt that in order to better myself, I also needed to better understand myself, right? So then, because I wanted to know who I truly was and what I was capable of. And, this experiment just re emphasized that. And so to me, it didn't really come as a surprise, but of course, like the outcome was still shocking to just see it with my own eyes. Like this experiments on YouTube, so you guys can, and I'll link it below as well. It's about a 1 minute video that he showcases this and shows like the outcome of each of the jars of rice, right? So some people may not believe this is true, but there's numerous other content creators on YouTube that also have done this rice experiment. Like they have shorts that are proving it as well. And for anyone out there who wants to try this on their own, everyone has rice and everyone has jars at home. So like this is also something that you could test on your own if um, you want to see the evidence for yourself. But I knew this was true because I knew that we're powerful beings, and like I knew that our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our words, like just the energy that we give off, our vibration, like that impacts and affects physical matter. Like it's right, like that's something that most of us probably haven't been aware ever in our lives, or just some people that go their whole lives without ever knowing that to be true. And just for me right now, I'm blessed that at my young age that I've learned that and I'm aware of that. And for you watching this video, hopefully if you made it this far, that like hopefully you've learned that as well. And this is something that you'll also keep in mind, that you're just not a powerless human being. Like there's so many more levels to you, and there's so much more. Like you yourself are a powerful being. You're a powerful creator. Like there's like that energy that you exude, like that in and of itself is power. And the sad part is that a lot of us go through life without ever knowing that or ever understanding that. You know, um, this experiment, the rice experiment, was done to see the impact, like to understand the impact when it comes to working with children. Like, what would that do to children if they were ignored or if they were insulted, right? How if insulting rice and ignoring rice could have it rot and go black, then imagine what it does to children, right? Or even if you have a pet at home, what it does to the pet, or even family members, or even how you treat other people. For me, this experiment was super important because it just helped showcase and highlight, remind me just my power, that I am the creator of my own reality, that I can alter my reality, right? Just with my thoughts, feelings, emotions, my energy that I'm giving off is the energy that I receive back. Him showing gratitude and love for the rice is what he was able to receive back from the rice, right? He was able to receive fermented, pleasant aroma rice in return for showing gratitude, right? It also explains why people pray whenever, if it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas, whenever there's a big meal and the family's around and everything. Like, that's why people pray before meals, because they want to bless their food so that it goes down well and they eat great. Is also why you hear the expression, that such and such person cooks with love, because that love, that energy, that joy that they have when cooking, you also taste in the food, right? Like it goes down well. So this isn't like this isn't just no fluke. This isn't like just nonsense, right? Like all this ties back to everything that we've learned. I just feel like throughout our life, we were basically given hints or like pieces of information, but we were never able to connect the dots because it was never clear, right? And so I feel like this is when I'm able to step in, because I'm a lot more aware as far as my true power and who I am as a person, right? So that I can see these like footnotes that we were given in all of these sayings and all these things that we do as people, but like a lot of us just aren't fully aware. And so I hope that I'm able to do my job and help you, right? Be able to fill in the pieces for yourself so that you can live a happier and more fulfilling life. I think the main takeaway from this rice experiment video is just understanding your true power, right? And understanding the importance of expressing gratitude and being thankful, right? Like a lot in your life can change when you have a simple mindset shift, right? Instead of looking for the negatives, begin looking for the positives. And I think it's just powerful to see how it impacts physical matter. This rice experiment video was one for the ages because it just highlighted our true power as people and the importance of showing love and gratitude to pretty much everything around you, right? Like I would hear that as a cliche from people. Oh, you got to be grateful. Oh, you got to be, I'm sure we all have, but this is proof of that, right? Like this, I hope that you found the video to be helpful and insightful and just powerful, right? And I hope this serves as a reminder to you to be thankful for the things that you have in your life, for the people around you. So that pretty much wraps up the video. Hopefully you're able to take some time to review the rice experiment on your end, because me telling the story is great, but for you to see it for yourself, even from other content creators, even from Dr. Masaru Emoto himself, I'm sure it'll be quite the life-changing experience. So hope you found the video to be really beneficial. If you enjoyed it, do leave a like. Do comment down below any questions, any thoughts you may have. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications. And lastly, please make sure to share this video with anyone who you think would benefit from watching this. So that was the end of the video. This is Joel, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.